Pokemon Go has finally announced the information for Season 12 of Gobattle League, the Season of Light update. So in this video, I'm going to take you through the basics of what you need to know about all the different cup formats that we're going to be seeing in Season 12, along with the move rebalances, Movepool expansions, brand new attacks in the game, basically light summary of everything you need to know. So let's get into it. So yeah, starting September 1st, we're going to have the Season of Light. Here's the schedule here. First, we're going to be starting out with Great League with the Little Jungle Cup Remix. And what's different about the Little Jungle Cup Remix is that it's the same as before, but no Scorpy, no Cottony, no Ducklet, and no Salandit. The first three are banned because of their usage rates from previous Little Jungle Cups, and then Salandit's banned because there's no real legal way of getting Salandit in Pokemon Go, aside from, like, multi-accounting by proxy. We're not going to get into the whole tangle of why Salandit is a problem. Just know that it's banned, so it's no longer a problem. But yeah, I remember from the previous Little Jungle Cup, the fighting type Pokemon, not exactly the fighters themselves, but counter users like Vigoroth and Toxicroak ended up being pretty good. Unlike other Little Cups, evolution Pokemon can be used, so you know, that's how those guys get in. And then I remember Swinub also being quite the beast. Scorpy also being a beast too. Chansey also pretty beastly on top of it. Chansey got nerfed after that, so I don't know if Chansey's still going to be good in the Little Jungle Cup. But this is the first cup of the season. No real stakes here. No crying out, trying to hit Legend at the last minute. So kind of whatever overall. Then next up we have Psychic Cup. Psychic Cup is a mono-type cup, so we already know it's going to be pretty bad, right? Mew is going to be banned from this cup, though, because Pokemon Go recognizes that Shadow Claw Mew kind of dominates everything in the cup. So with Mew out of the picture, we have Malamar dominating basically everything in this cup. Being a sub-dark type Pokemon, it has a triple resistance to opposing psychic type attacks, and then it also has a same type attack bonus, boosted foul play, that it gets to really fast with Psycho Cut. So yeah, Malamar is basically going to be the name of the game. Of course, we do have Charm Gardevoir in there, which can beat the Malamar, and then Gardevoir has to watch out for the Steel and Fire-type Pokemon in the Cup, and that's basically the TLDR of the Psychic Cup. RPS hell, revolving around a couple Pokemon. Good thing it's pretty early on in the season, right? Then next up, we have the Weather Cup. Weather Cup is going to feature Fire, Water, Rock, and Ice type Pokemon based on the Weather Ball types in the game. So from the outset, we can kind of guesstimate that this is going to be the Water type Cup, where there's other Water types that can beat the Water types, because Water type beats, you know, Fire, Rock, and resists Ice. So that's the cup, right? And then some really good, you know, meta versions of the non-Water type Pokemon could get sprinkled in. I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw like a Talonflame or a Alola Marowak show up. But Weather Cup, basically Water monotype the cup, but with a couple extra stuff sprinkled in. Maybe we'll see Abomasnow make a reprise. That'd be pretty cool. Then we got Ultra League and the return of the Ultra League Premier Classic. And this cup's like one of my favorite cups because for whatever reason, I always do really well in it. Every season of GBL that's had it, I've hit Legendary in it. I just ascend in that cup. I don't know. So I'm a little bit bummed that it is early on in the season. And if you look through the itinerary, you're going to see that it doesn't come up again. So I might not be hitting Legend here because of how early it is, but I am happy to see it return. One of my favorite cups. And then we have Master League with the Master League Premier Classic. So sucks that it's Master League, right? But we do have Master League Premier Classic to kind of soften the blow, the return of a Classic Master League. There are no other Classic Master Leagues for the rest of the season. This is the only time you can use your level 40 Pokemon once again in the Master League. So I think this basically confirms that the Master League Classic itself, the OG one, is dead. It's not coming back. You have to invest in these XL Pokemon. So that's a pretty huge L for everybody that doesn't want to spend like $100 each season on raid passes. But what to do about that, right? At least we do got the Master League Premier Classic back, though. Then next up, we have Evolution Cup. And I got to relook at the rules for this one because this one's kind of goofy. So for the Evolution Cup, it's going to be a Great League style format, but only Pokemon that have evolved at least once and could evolve a second time are going to be allowed in this cup. Off the top of my head, I know that a lot of grass type Pokemon function really well this way, so it's going to be like, I don't know, Razor Leaf City, right? But Golbat is also a really powerful Pokemon that's a mid-stage evolution as well. So it could be Golbat the cup. At first, I was kind of confused why some Pokemon got move pool updates that we're going to talk about later. And I think with Evolution Cup, it makes a little bit more sense because, Nidorina got Ice Beam. So maybe that's to help fight back the grass type Pokemon or something like that. Uh, I'll have to wait for PvPoke to update because I really can't think of Pokemon off the top of my head that fit these credentials. But I'm pretty sure Golbat's going to be there, and I'm pretty sure Razor Leafers are going to be there. So buckle up for the Evolution Cup. Then after that, we got Open Leagues. So pick your favorite Open League time. And then back to cup formats. We got the Halloween Cup. Halloween Cup is usually a fan favorite kind of cup. Pretty balanced cup for the most part, so pretty exciting for that. I'll get more into the Halloween Cup as we approach it, but same Halloween Cup that it's always been. And then we got the Halloween Cup Ultra League edition, which will be kind of spicy for people that really like Ultra League. And if you're not too into Ultra League, well, I got some bad news for you. You might want to get very, very comfortable with Ultra League this season if you don't have Open Master League Pokemon. Like if you're a Great League only type of player for the most part, Ultra League is now going to become your friend. Because after we cross this line, we have Willpower Cup, which will be an RPS Hell type of cup, only fighting, dark, and psychic type Pokemon with a Gardevoir ban. So from the outset, it's going to be a pretty heavy RPS cup that people are going to be crying about. And then we got Ultra Premier, not Ultra League Premier Cup Classic, but Ultra Premier. So it's like no legendaries, right? But still XL Pokemon. So, and then after that, Element Cup Remix, and then Catch Cup, the two Open Master Leagues. So Ultra League might be the way you hit Legend this season, is all I'm saying. So if you're not an Ultra League player right now, you might want to start becoming an Ultra League player because it looks like it's going to be pretty relevant, right? But yeah, Willpower Cup, as I already said, is going to be fighting, psychic, and dark type. So pretty simple RPS cup. Gardevoir is banned, but Charm will find its way to sneak in, right? So we'll cross that bridge as we approach it. And then we got Ultra Premier, which some people like. It's not Ultra League Premier Cup Classic. It'd be a lot cooler if it was, but what are we going to do about that? And then we got the Element Cup Remix. The Element Cup Remix is basically the Element Cup, except Chinchou, Cottonee, and Ducklet are banned, along with Saladent, because Saladent really shouldn't be getting these cups anyways without cheating. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about this ban list per se. I think the Element Cup was pretty okay for the most part. Cottonee was a little OP, but I never really felt like it was a huge issue for me at least. And I usually climb in the Element Cup, no problem. The only thing that got in my way this season was Saladent, which was unfortunate. But with that thing out of the way, pretty smooth sailing for me at least. So Chinchou, Cottonee, and Ducklet being out of the mix means that other Pokemon are going to be really good. One Pokemon that's not out of the mix is going to be that Vulpix. And Vulpix, probably the best Pokemon in the cup, honestly. And two things that bug it really bad are going to be out of the picture. So yeah, it might end up being Vulpix the cup if nothing rises up and puts Vulpix in its place. Like, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but we're going to find out. And then, of course, we got the Catch Cup, which is the same awful Catch Cup as it always is. I really wish Pokemon Go would stop forcing this down our throats. And, I mean, to make the Catch Cup even worse, too, they have it only with Master League, right? So at the end of the season, if you're pushing for that final climb there, your options are Catch Cup and an Open Master League. So it's not ending on all three open formats like it usually does. It's ending in hell. So that's a choice, a very deliberate choice, one that I don't agree with. I really hope Pokemon Go reevaluates this situation. Then we got the Go Battle Days. First one's going to be Go Battle Day Guzma on October 1st. So 4x Stardust from rewards. And you do have the ability to get Guzma items from a research line. These are going to be the same Guzma items that you'd get from ranking up anyways. So I don't really see this as being much of a reward for us because like we should be getting it anyways, right? But hey, it's part of the research now. So I guess if you can't get it on your own, like you don't push at GBL, I guess that's a way to get a watch and bracelet inspired from your boy Guzma, right? And then the active leagues at the time are going to be the Master Leagues. So your boy won't be participating in this one. I'm just going to get the Guzma stuff the OG way. I don't know. Like, if you don't push rank, right, then this is a way that you could get the Guzma items. But at the same time, if you're not too into PvP, that's the only reason why you get the items this way. They're gonna make you play a Master League. I just think it's just so bizarre to me on paper. Next Go Battle Day is gonna be Go Battle Day Miltank, November 6th, 4x Stardust, and then Miltank will be a featured Pokemon, so you can get Miltank a lot more often. This is gonna be a lot cool because if you haven't guessed already, Miltank is getting Rollout, so that's pretty exciting. There's some timed research for a Miltank encounter and Elite Charge TM, which is also pretty good. And this will be the Ultra League with the Willpower Cup. So big RPS Cup with the Ultra League. As I said before, get your body ready for the Ultra League. You're going to need it if you want to hit Legend. Then as far as the season rewards go, nothing really notable here, in my opinion. The standard encounter pool also isn't that exciting either, aside from big ol' Lickitung and the Miltank there, and whatever the 5-star raid boss is. And if you didn't guess already, the featured trainer outfit and pose for this season is gonna be your boy Guzma. Now I was really hoping that we'd get the squat pose because that's way cooler, but this is technically Guzma's like iconic pose. I'm just happy that your boy Guzma is getting the love and recognition it deserves in Pokemon Go, being the featured trainer for the Season of Light. So I'm really excited for this. All the move rebalances, all the move expansions, all the cups, they don't matter. What matters is that we now get to dress up like our boy Guzma here. So I'm pretty stoked about that one. And then we got 2 new attacks coming in. We got Double Kick and we got Fairy Wind. Double Kick in PvP is basically going to be like Hex, but it's going to hit a little bit harder. So it's not as good as Counter, but Pokemon that get it will probably appreciate it. Probably will have a little bit more impact than what Karate Chop had in the game. And then we got Fairy Wind. Fairy Wind, finally, after all these years, right? And it's a Mudshot clone. So now, not only do Fairy-type Pokemon wail on you super hard with Charm, but now they can get the charge moves super fast with Fairy Wind. So I'm pretty excited that Fairy-type Pokemon now have something to like use that isn't just Charm. We might get some more dynamic Fairy Pokemon in the game instead of relying on Charm to manage fighting and Dark-type Pokemon so well all the time. Then we got some attack changes, some buffs, some nerfs. Zap Cannon is getting nerfed. The chance to lower the attack stage is no longer guaranteed. We don't have a percentage on it. I'm going to assume it's going to be 50% though, but they might over nerf it and make it less than 50%. We'll have to see what comes out once we get the data mine here. Icicle Spear is going to have its energy cost increased. Back when Icicle Spear first came out, it like almost feels like a year ago now, I thought that they should have had a higher energy cost on it, and I thought it would be absolutely insane if they made it the way they did. So I'm glad that, I know it's taken a year, I guess, but I'm glad that they're finally nerfing Icicle Spear because, man, Walrein is annoying. Too unhinged. And this won't erase Walrein from the meta, unless they over nerf it and they nerf it by like 10 energy instead of just 5. Walrein will still be around, but Walrein won't be as crazy oppressive as it has been, so I'm here for it. Walrein, still good, but Walrein no longer insano OP. Then we got Rollout, and Rollout got nerfed. The energy generation has been decreased. Big reason for this is that they're giving it to Miltank, and it would be a little bit too good with the charge move spamming with the energy that Rollout had before. I don't know what the nerf is going to look like, but I imagine it won't be too harsh. And then on top of that, there's another Pokemon getting Rollout, and it basically claps the entire meta as it is right now. So it makes sense that they're giving it a little bit of a nerf here preemptively. Then Ancient Power, Ominous Wind, and Silver Wind are all getting buffed. Now, back in the old days of GBL, back in ancient times, these moves were just like the dumbest stuff on the block. Mostly Ancient Power and Ominous Wind, because the rate at which they'd give you the boost was just a little bit too high and was just a little bit too match flipping. So they reduced the rate and they reduced the damage, basically nerfing these attacks into the dirt, right? Well, now it looks like they're buffing them again. Yeah, they're giving them a little bit more damage, so they're a little bit more useful. But rather than buffing by 2 stages, they're going to buff by 1 stage. So I think overall this will make the attacks more useful for like most situations, as you shouldn't be relying on the boost to begin with. But it is also going to make the boost like pretty low impact overall, I feel, so kind of whatever, right? And then Quick Attack and Tackle are getting buffed. They're going to have increased energy gains. I don't know how much they're going to increase them by, but I know for at least Quick Attack is already like not that bad. So I could see some Pokemon with Quick Attack becoming a little bit better with this buff. Hey, Ryan Swag from the future here editing this video. Vulpix. Vulpix, Element Cup, Armageddon. Oh my god, I didn't even think about this right away. I can't believe it. But Vulpix is already like OP. They're buffing Vulpix in the Element Cup. After removing like two of the bigger counters to Vulpix in the Element Cup. This is insane. Yeah, if you don't have a Vulpix already for Element Cup, get one. I don't know if it'll be so much so that they are all of a sudden meta, but Quick Attack, getting an energy buff is going to be quite nice for those Pokemon. And then we got move availability updates. This is the exciting part, right? Nidorina is now getting Thunderbolt, which is kind of weird. Nidorina is already like kind of good. It's a decent XL investment for the Great League, but still like kind of on the spice side. One of the big things it does though is use Dig to hit on Steel Pokemon and Fire type Pokemon with. So you'd have to give up Dig to use this Thunderbolt, I feel. So I don't know, a little helpful, right? And then Nidorino is getting Ice Beam, and I don't really know anything about how good Nidorino might be in the game, so this could help it out. I think if anything, these are two mid-stage Pokemon. I think Pokemon Go realized that the grass types are going to be insane in the Evolution Cup or whatever it's called. So this might be a little nudge to these guys to make them a little bit more viable in that situation there. Then we got Nidoking getting the brand new double kick move. I don't know how much this will change things for Nidoking, but Nidoking already has some pretty poor fast moves going on, so maybe this is a buff to Nidoking. We'll have to see what ends up happening with that, right? I'm actually a little disappointed that they didn't give double kick to Nidorina and Nidorino though, because I do have some fond memories back in Gen 1 of the main series games. If you went with Charmander or you played Yellow with the Pikachu there, you kind of wanted to get double kick on one of these guys so you could actually take on Brock a little bit more comfortably in the early game. A little callback to that would be kind of cool, but I guess they kind of skipped over that one. Then we got Arcanine. Arcanine got the attack Psychic Fangs. Is Arcanine still going to be bad? Probably. Tentacruel now gets Scald. So Tentacruel actually has some teeth now because it's a Poison Jabber, which is pretty good. Its type is already pretty good to begin with. The big problem it had was those really high energy cost charge moves. So as Scald, it now is able to like actually do some good, charge move pressure. So Tentacruel might be rising up in the meta because of this. Then we got Galarian Rapidash getting Fairy Wind. G-Dash here already has Psycho Cut, so Fairy Wind is kind of like a little bit of a buff to it, but it's not anything revolutionary. But I think Galarian Rapidash appreciates it. And just so you don't forget, G-Dash here does have Body Slam and Mega Horn, so it might end up making a splash in the Psychic Type Cup with these buffs, but I don't expect too much out of it. It's pretty fragile. Then we got Haunter with Ice Punch. I don't know if Haunter needs Ice Punch. You know what this is? This is probably Evolution Cup, maybe. So it can hit grass type Pokemon. I don't know what the theory is here, but usually Haunter goes for Shadow Punch with the Shadow Ball or a Sludge Bomb if it wants to hit normal type Pokemon. So I don't know how much Ice Punch is going to see play. Once again, I think this would be a little bit more interesting on Gengar too, or maybe if they both got the attacks. Remember, Ice Punch Gengar was also a cool Gen 1 thing that you could whip out, so it'd be cool if they both got it, but Haunter just getting it. I guess I'm happy for Haunter. Then we got Marowak. Marowak's getting Rock Slide. Marowak's not too shabby, to be honest. It's a mono ground type Pokemon. I think it's got Mud Shot, and then it's got like Earthquake and Bone Club. I don't think it had a Rock type charge move before, and if it did, it was bad. So Rock Slide being good is good for Marowak. We'll see what happens with Marowak going forward. It's got the pure neutral coverage now. We got Hitmonlee with Double Kick. Hitmonlee was bad before. Hitmonlee is not any better. Galarian Weezing with Fairy Wind. People said we were crazy back in the day trying to get good IVs on Galarian Weezing because one day it might get Fairy Wind. Now it does have Fairy Wind. Is Galarian Weezing going to be particularly good? As I recall, the charge moves aren't that exciting aside from Overheat, so I don't expect G-Weezing to take over overnight. But it's going to be a lot better now. And you will for sure see YouTubers put videos with this Pokemon being like, wow, G-Weez is crazy, even though it's not, because they can get them overheat finishers, right? Then we got Dragonair getting Body Slam. I feel like this buff is a little unnecessary. Wrap was doing the job just okay. Aqua Tail was doing the job just okay. I don't feel like Dragonair really needed this buff. So it's just a very odd spot buff on Dragonair that I don't really agree with because it doesn't need it, but hey, now it's got it. Dragonite, after all these years, is finally getting superpower, which is pretty cool. I don't think it's going to make a splash in the Master League, but this might do something for it in the Master League Premier Cup Classic, so that'll be pretty interesting to see when the time comes. Ledian is getting Dynamic Punch. I don't think that really does anything for it. I guess it can hit Steel and Rock-type Pokemon now. Maybe Ledian will start rising up the meta, but Dynamic Punch isn't the best value charge move around, so I don't really see it happening. Lantern got Surf. Lantern has wanted Surf for such a long time, and now it finally has it. I've actually been holding out on building a Lantern too. I remember there was like a Lantern Spotlight Hour, the Chinchou Spotlight Hour, like I think like a year ago almost, and I went crazy on that one. So I've got like a whole bunch of Lantern just ready to go. So it might be time to deep dive on that one sometime soon. Then Jumpluff is getting Fairy Wind. I don't think this really matters for Jumpluff. It's not a Fairy type Pokemon. It's Grass Flying. And it's already got Bullet Seed, which is like the same thing for the most part. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe the extra chip damage will let it overcome some matchups. Espeon's getting Psychic Fangs. When Psychic Fangs came out, I was like, yeah, they gotta give this to like Espeon and Giraffe Rig. They're finally doing it. I don't think this is gonna flip the script on these Pokemon and make a meta overnight or anything, but I guess it's nice that they have them now for the few formats where they could shine. Giraffe Rig is also getting Double Kick. So you see those legs on that giraffe? Yeah, watch out, right? So big Giraffe Rig buff over here. I got a couple good Shadow ones too, so maybe this thing will be good. That'd be pretty cool. And then we got Dunsparce, the Overlord here, with the new Fast Attack Rollout. With Rollout on Dunsparce, as it is right now, it basically claps the meta. You know, Registeel, Stunfisk, Walrein, Trevenant, Sableye, they don't want to fight Dunsparce. Dunsparce is too good. The seal has been broken, and Dunsparce has now awakened to take over the meta. And I'd say more so than Miltank, Dunsparce is probably the reason why they preemptively nerfed Rollout, because Dunsparce is crazy, crazy good. We were waiting for this day, as the prophecy foretold. It is here now. Will I be doing a Dunsparce PvP IV deep dive? You bet your bottom I'm going to be doing that, because I'm hyped. I've been waiting for this one, and it's going to be really good, so buckle up, right? Then we got Steelix with Psychic Fangs. Steelix is one of the few Pokemon that can, like, utilize Psychic Fangs pretty effectively, but it also would probably prefer to just, you know, use Crunch and Earthquake instead, so it'll be interesting to see what cups or what situations the Steelix ends up, you know, showing up in. Then we got Miltank with Rollout. We already talked about this before, but yeah, Miltank is pretty excited having a actually good fast move that it can use now. It can start body slamming. It's got Thunderbolt and Ice Beam, so as far as the extra coverage goes, I don't think it's going to be as like useful or explosive as other body slammers are. We'll have to see how things pan out, you know, after we finally digest all the buffs and nerfs and Movepool expansions. We'll see where Miltank sits, but I think it can be said right now pretty early on that Miltank will not be bad, and at some point I will have to do a Miltank PvP IV deep dive because Miltank will be pretty good in both the Great League and Ultra League. Then we got Mawile. Mawile's getting Fairy Wind. I don't think it's really going to do anything for Mawile. Manectric also getting Psychic Fangs. Also, I do not think this will do a whole lot for Manectric. But we do have Shadow Manectric, and the big scary thing about Shadow Manectric is that, you know, the overheat and the wild charge will basically KO you. So now it's got a bait move to pair with that kind of danger going on. So Manectric could be a spooky, scary Pokemon, doing the same thing that, you know, Luxray's doing, but a little bit scarier. Camerupt is getting Incinerate. I have spent zero amount of hours doing any sims on this, but Camerupt's like not that bad to begin with, so we may be seeing some big things from Camerupt here, if anything in cup formats. Lot Bunny is now getting Double Kick. I'd say with Double Kick in general, for the longest time I was saying they need to buff Low Kick. A lot of Low Kick Pokemon would like to have a, you know, better move than that, so I was expecting them to buff Low Kick. But now they got Double Kick. It makes sense that they give it to Lot Bunny because Lot Bunny is one of their mega Pokemon, so they want to make it a little bit more attractive. I don't know if this will be it for Lot Bunny. I mean, it does have Fire Punch, and it's got, like, Hyper Beam. I don't remember its other attacks. It'll be some pretty tough competition against Diggersby, but the Double Kick could enable it to stand out a little bit more. Swoobat Also getting Psychic Fangs. Now, I looked at the Psychic Cup already. Swoobat doesn't stand out in any real way in that format, but maybe Swoobat could do something in the Willpower Cup, possibly. But it definitely appreciates getting the Psychic Fangs there. Now it's a little bit more like a Golbat analog, where it's got like, it flies and it debuffs. And that's where the comparisons end, because we don't have Shadow Ball. Florges is getting Fairy Wind, which it appreciates. Slurpluff is getting Fairy Wind, which is a little benign. I don't know. I really don't know what to think about Fairy Wind right now, because I'm not used to Fairy types being so fast. But Florges, not that big of a deal. Slurpluff might be kind of interesting. We got Incineroar. Incineroar is going to get Double Kick. I don't know if this does a lot for Incineroar, but it does give it counter coverage against opposing Dark-type Pokemon, so in Dark-type Cups, this could be a thing. Hey. We got Golisopod, finally getting Shadow Claw. Shadow Claw is one piece of the puzzle that it needed to be good. This is Guzma, your boy's signature Pokemon here. It needs a little bit more than just Shadow Claw. Now, we may be seeing First Impression in the future, Golisopod's signature attack. Maybe in the future, Pokemon Go will wake up and finally give it close combat. But Golisopod is now this much closer to not being bad Araquanid. I haven't looked at the Sims yet, but I imagine Golisopod still isn't all that great because its charge moves, for the most part, are really bad. But this is one piece of the puzzle to Golisopod finally becoming big boy meta. Then we got Nihilego here. They finally gave it Poison Jab. I don't know why they didn't release it with Poison Jab. So in my soul, I don't really consider this to be a Movepool expansion, because this is what they should have done to begin with. But now it's got Poison Jab. So when it comes to the Open Master League, if you spent all your money and wailed out on Nihilego here, then Zacian better watch out. But I think the state of the Master League is so shit right now that it's hard to be excited about this one, personally at least. And then we got Dubwool. Dubwool getting the Double Kick, so maybe Dubwool might actually be good. Dubwool has Body Slam, Wild Charge, and Payback, and 2000 stat product. If you slept on this sheep, you best be waking up, because Dubwool's looking pretty good now. And then finally, last but not least, we got Runegrius with the Shadow Claw. So just like Cofagrigus last year, Runegrius will now finally be a big boy meta threat because it has Shadow Claw and Shadow Ball. And unlike Cofagrigus, Runegrius is a little spicy, ground type Pokemon. So one thing that that big ol' Registeel does not want to fight any time of the day. And then to pair with the big ol' Shadow Ball, we also got Sand Tomb and Rock Tomb to work with. Sand Tomb I think will be a bit better because lower cost, it gets the same type attack bonus. But Runegrius, expect to see it all over the place coming soon. That was a lot to get through, but that's basically the gist of the Season 12 update. Of course, as we approach the Cups, I'll try to give you guys some more tips on what the best teams are going to be for those metas. And then once I find some time, probably over this weekend, I'll start simming out all of the new changes to the metas to let you guys know which Pokemon are coming out on top and which Pokemon are hurting really hard with the Season 12 update. So, if you got any questions on this content, of course, comment below. Let me know what's up. I'll be happy to help you out. And if you enjoyed this type of content and you want to see more like it, make sure to subscribe to SwagTips. SwagTips. I'd also like to give a special shout out to these Patreon supporters. If you want to support the Swagman on Patreon, link in the description. Your boy Guzma is the featured guy for this thing. Oh man, I messed that up. Guzma